Let's transform my boring builder-grade kitchen into a stunning space with some game-changing upgrades, while I show you how to nail stone to the wall and take you to a sawmill that specializes in old wood. We're going to build a set of doors from river-rescued wood and create a stunning hood range from 500-year-old lumber. Oh yeah, and here's the space I'm going to do it in. You see, luxury is wasted on the rich. They usually flaunt what their money buys them. But a DIYer like me, I find the joy in the sweat and creativity that my own two hands make. Let's dive in and remove these baseboards. Oh, and you see this mess left behind? This was from the builder. I mean, construction used to have standards, but in today's world, they seem to choose profit over quality. Oh, and you see my wife? This is where she pops in and says, "Honey, can you add 2 huge doors to this project?" What? Honey, I have a plan and a build schedule to keep. But she knows how to play me, and what my girl wants, my girl gets. I'll break my back to make that happen for her. And just like that, my whole plan and schedule was thrown off. It actually delayed me by about 2 weeks, but it wasn't a big deal, and it did add extra fun to this project. Oh, and you see these boards? This is wallboard. I'm putting this up so that way I can nail on this stone. I've been waiting for this shipment to arrive, and it's here. Let's go check it out. I've been dying to get my hands on some of this, so I'm about to open it up. It's made by Evolv Stone. Here it is. It's got a really nice texture to it, and it's more like a veneer. Now, while I try to establish a pattern, let me show you up close. See how cool this stuff is? You can glue it onto your wall or even nail it like I'm doing. I went with the option to nail it because I just thought I would be faster. Now, I will say, off camera, I made a mistake with my pattern that I chose, and I ended up having to pull the entire wall down. But I didn't let it deter me. I just pulled out a few hairs off of my head and got busy. And check this out. If you need to go around an outlet, you can cut it on a table saw, a jigsaw, anything, just like that. And we'll squeeze it around the outlet. Yeah. Boom. Add a couple of nails, and we're moving on. But before you know it, it was time for me to address this hood range. So I had to get busy because the stone was going to fall right into it. But I know what you're thinking. How much did this project cost? After all, is it cheaper to DIY or to hire a professional contractor? Well, I'm going to get into that. But before I go over the cost breakdown to go DIY or hire a professional contractor, I wanted to talk about something that's been weighing heavily on me. And that's a diet. But I should clarify. It's not like any ordinary diet. This is a financial diet. Oh, and this is how you know I'm a homeowner. I'm doing this stone behind my refrigerator. This is a corner a contractor would definitely cut. But it looks good, right? I mean, after all, quality is in the things that you can't see. That's how you know you're doing something correct. At least that's how I think. But let's get back to that diet. You see, inflation and everything being what it is, things are costing way too much money. Food, fuel, homes, everything. And have you noticed how many subscriptions there are out there in the universe? Suddenly there's a subscription for everything. It's almost like one day I woke up and there was a subscription for gym memberships, a subscription for TV apps. Hell, there's even a subscription for candles and toilet paper, you name it. It's like the whole world got on this subscription plan and realized, hey, if we make the price low enough, nobody will even notice their bank account getting drafted every month. But guess what? I went through my bank statements and I found that we were hemorrhaging money all over the place with tons of subscriptions. So I decided on a course correction and hence the financial diet. I headed back home and got busy cutting this wood up. Oh, and if you get up close to it, you'll be able to see all these little holes and divots. That's actually a fungus. You see, this is river-rescued lumber, and when it's at the bottom of the river, sometimes it gets a fungus. It's called pecky cypress. So yeah, I'm basically using wood that's got athlete's foot. But hey, it looks amazing, even with the itch. Let's put it up. Now, once this lumber was kiln dried, it removes all the bugs, it stops the rot, and it kills all the fungus, and you're able to get after it. But the cleanup, I had to get a burnishing tool and get in every little nook and cranny. This took forever, but look at how sweet it is. Definitely worth it. I moved on to trimming out the hood, and then my ADHD kicked in and was like, I wonder what this marble would look like. So I left the hood unfinished and began installing the backsplash, one tile at a time. And of course, my beautiful wife wanted this herringbone pattern, which really kicked my butt. But who's complaining? It really came out cool. Check that out. But the ADD struggle? It's real, folks. Trust me. I jump all over the place all the time. And while I'm doing this project, I'm already thinking about the next one. It's crazy. But the struggle is real. You may be wondering by now, how do I know how to do all this? Well, I'm proud to say that I'm self-made. I've taught myself how to make anything that I need. It's my passion. We even make these hats. I started this side hustle of making hats to show my kids how to make things with their own two hands, coupled with a little bit of entrepreneurship. I figured it would be a good skill for them to know. So if you're interested in supporting our journey, we'll have the hats linked below. But let's get back to the build. We're working on those doors now. Now I'm establishing the frame all the way around, and you may be wondering, why didn't I put up a header? Well, I actually got lucky. Going up into the attic to do some extra supports, I noticed that there was an LVL support beam going all the way through that wall span. So a header actually wasn't needed. So I was able to skip a step. I can't believe it. But after I sanded down some more of that Pecky Cypress, the board with the athlete's foot, I put it up to be a cross member, so it would actually appear kind of like a big thick beam. Came out pretty cool, wouldn't you say? Now let's get busy on the next stage, the doors. And while I build these awesome doors in my driveway, let's go over some of the costs associated with this project so far. Let's begin with that custom hood range. Quotes from professional carpenters were going to charge me around $2,800. That was on the low end. But my DIY cost was only $180. What? That's a large savings. I mean, that's basically a couple $1,000. And I didn't have to have a carpenter in my house for over a week while we planned and cooked and did what we did. I mean, DIY for the hood, that's a win. And for that marble backsplash with the herringbone pattern, the professional contractors were going to charge me $1,100 to $1,300. But for me, the cost associated with that for the DIY route was only $194 and some change. So again, I saved myself another $1,000. These savings are adding up. Now let's touch base on the stonework. This is a little subjective, as there's quotes all over the place. But the average cost for a stonemason, a professional, to come to your house, it's going to be about $28,000 to $30,000 to go the veneer stone or solid stone due to the amount of square footage I installed. Plus, you have a couple of stonemasons in your house for a week to 2 weeks. That interrupts a family's lifestyle. But DIYing it, the cost was only around $5,000. And I was able to get it done easily in less than a week. I really banged it out. This product was really awesome. I highly recommend it. And the savings so far is huge. But next, we're going to talk about the doors. Oh, and you see this tool I'm holding? This is a lift jack. These things hold thousands of pounds, and I actually bought them off Amazon. I'll have a link below if you're interested. But I lost sleep over how to install these doors because they were so incredibly heavy. I didn't know if me and my wife could pull it off. But I got these jacks, and it worked like a charm. I was able to lift them up to get to the proper height and square up these hinges. Actually, it was easy peasy. But let's get back to that cost. Let's talk about these doors. Doors of this size and using specialty lumber like this, which is river rescued sinker cypress, it took a specialty woodworker. Regular carpenters wouldn't do it. Carpenters usually are just based on trim work in the house and doing accents, but it was going to take a skilled, experienced woodworker. And they were going to charge around $12,000 to do a set of doors like this. That's material and labor. For me, it was a no-brainer. I am a carpenter or woodworker, and the material itself only cost me $900. So that was a no-brainer. That was over a $10,000 savings. That's a big one. So let's go through this real quick, and let's break down the professional contracting route versus the DIY route. And you tell me which one you would prefer. For professionals to come in my home and do this complete project, it was going to be a ballpark figure of around $45,600. Whew! Who's got that kind of money? Not me. But the DIY route? This was just around $6,200 associated with this entire project. That's all it costs. Now, it will do a little extra cost of called sweat equity, but hey, Come on, everybody in this generation's getting too soft. People from my generation get down and dirty. So would you DIY this?